Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and in just a handful of days, patch 1107 is going to be finally here. A brand new update bringing in the zone of the Siren Isle for us to explore and discover its secrets. So many different mounts as well as pieces of transmogs and collectibles for you to obtain. A new ring of Cersei's circlet that's going to supercharge every one of your characters with a bunch of variety of powerful ability gems. And later down the line, we also see the return of the much anticipated Plunderstorm mode. And right now, this week in particular, is the best time to do last minute prep for the patch 1107, with the opportunity to take advantage of all the anniversary updates soon or running out. But also this week, you can start working on certain achievements and requirements in order to be able to unlock some of those mounts and collectibles as soon as 1107 launches. So today I'm going to go over everything you should be doing right now in prep for the patch 1107 update. As always, if you guys want to see more videos like these for the War Within expansion, be sure to follow the channel and subscribe. But otherwise, let's dive right in. So one of the first things you should probably finish out doing right now before the 20th anniversary update is gone is level up some brand new alts, as the 20th anniversary brings in a variety of different buffs to experience gained, which stack together with all the other present buffs, whether it is the warband bonuses or a potion experience bonus, or if you have like other holidays or events such as the Dark Mefera, all of those bonuses stacked together, plus the 20% or up to 20% bonus XP you can gain just for doing some of the anniversary activities and just for logging on as well. Because the anniversary update is part of the patch 1105, and when 1105 is gone, shortly afterwards is when the anniversary update is also going to fade away. So it's a good idea to try to get as much out of it as possible right now and get all of your ults finished out, especially with the Time Walking Classic that's currently available just about every single week right now, which allows for some of the fastest level gains available. So try to finish out all of your ult leveling last minute before the new update is finally here. Now, if you are in the room for some more alts and some more characters for you to play, you might as well take advantage of some of the new race options that are going to be a little bit more viable as of 1107. Because if you're playing alts, you might as well add some variety for all of those alts as well. Majority of allied races, but also some of the lesser represented classic races or even races added for other expansions are being revamped with this update. For the Horde, we're seeing buffs towards the Nightborn and their AoE race, which is going to have much better damage, but also an 80% slow to all targets around you. Similar thing is happening to Valpera, where the potion, which can either heal an ally or harm a foe, the heal on an ally will also grant them movement speed, while the harming effect will also greatly slow an enemy as well, which makes it much more potent. The Hell-Mounted Tauren defensive racial, where they take reduced damage from incoming attacks, will actually be made much stronger, and since the racial also scales with your character's health, it does make it a fairly good defensive option for tank specs in particular. The Maghar's secondary stat racial is going to be a little bit more specialized, prioritizing your two best secondary stats, which can give it so much more value, making it potentially one of the better racials numerically going forward. And lastly, Zandalari, with all of the different Loa that they can pledge towards, all of those Loa buffs are getting buffed up as well, and they can use that self-heal ability a little bit more freely during combat. For Alliance, they have the Draenei, which will now gain a shorter cooldown on their own personal heal. The Lightforged are going to be able to get a better passive healing buff for any healing rolls, but also the big laser beam that they can call from the sky. That damage is getting buffed up by quite a bit, though it is being made to be soft capped at 8 targets. The Void of Racial, the passive effect where they can randomly proc additional damage, is also getting reworked a little. Instead of it being a duplicate ability, it simply just increases your damage by 5%, which may make it a much better racial numbers wise as well. And finally, the Worgen movement speed racial, a Dark Flight, gets a shorter cooldown and now stacks with other movement based effects, which can allow certain class combinations to achieve some of the best and the most insane movement speeds available. So classes like Rogues, Hunters, and Druids have natural synergy with the movement speed buff of the Worgen. But it also makes the Worgen racial actually kind of good, because previously it didn't stack with other movement based effects, and this should make it a lot better for any of you that are looking to pick up on additional mobility. Now, when you do get all of those alts caught up and leveled, you might as well sit on them once they hit max level, because it's actually going to be more worthwhile not to start gearing them out immediately. Instead, wait until the patch 1107 is finally here. Instead, spend some time working on your main, because they recently uncapped all the different crests, so now you can catch up with all of your gear as quickly as possible, make a bunch of crafted items, and work on gearing out your main as best as you can for the final push in 1107. Because once the update is here, you'll be able to scour the island and either purchase warband gear that can be transferred over to your old secure mod really quickly, or you'll be able to find them from a variety of different activities, rares, treasures, excavation bosses. Just about anything drops you a ton of warband gear that you'll be able to easily outfit with all of your alts. And even the gear that you can buy for all of your alts as well is not even that expensive with the new currency that's coming out later down the line. But if you're trying to be more efficient, it is a good idea to hold off on gearing your alts until a little bit later. Outside of that, it's also a good idea to start working on some of the upcoming mounts that are arriving in 1107, and you can actually get all the achievements in order to be able to unlock those mounts, at least a good portion of them, as soon as the update goes live. With patch 1107 bringing a handful of mounts such as a Shadow of Doubt, which is earned from an achievement called You Shall Not Pass, which is a War Within completionist achievement where you gotta complete a variety of different zone activities for all of the original zones of the War Within, from Isle Adorn, Ring of Deeps, Hollowfall, and Ashkahet. Anything from some of the adventure and exploration achievements, treasure finding, but also some of the more collectible achievements and even zone-specific activities as well. And you can get a huge majority of them done right now, in fact all of them, before 1107 even goes live. You will also need to complete I'll Remember You, which is a unique achievement for the zone of Siren Isle, which is arriving with this update as part of the You Shall Not Pass, but this one is a lot more straightforward and a lot easier to do. And while you're working on the Siren Isle achievements, you'll also be able to get an extra mount called the Breaker Song. So while working on the You Shall Not Pass mount, you get a second one on top of it for free, just for completing all of the zone's unique content. Another mount that's going to be made available is the one from Battle for Azeroth expansion, also another completionist achievement called A Farewell to Arms that allows you to transform into Johnny's trash pile, the Trash Raptor Loa. And this achievement could actually be unlocked right now before 1105 gets here, as it's mostly a completionist achievement for all of the BFA content, from all of its different zones to all of the different island achievements, as well as Mechagon achievements, the Black Empire achievements from the later patches, the Nazjatar achievements, as well as all of the other little collectibles, which they've actually nerfed recently to make it much easier for you to be able to complete all of these achievements right now. And they removed a lot of the zone specific exploration and full-on super sweaty completionist requirements as well, which makes it much easier for most players to be able to acquire it. We've actually covered both of these mounts on the channel and have guides for them, and I'll have those linked down in the description below if you want to start working on those two unique mounts before 1107 is actually here. And you can also find the detailed written version of these guides on our Discord channel as well, which you can find in the description of every single video. Besides this, let's double back to the anniversary update, since that'll be going away very soon, and there's a couple of things you should probably finish out if you haven't unlocked them already. With the 20th anniversary retiring, it's a good idea to finish out a cool 20 years achievement specifically in order to be able to unlock your Coldflame Tempest mount. The Coldflame Tempest mount is not going to be gone completely. It will be making a return with the next year's anniversary update, but that's not going to be around for at least another year. So you might as well take care of it right now. And all you have to do to unlock that one is essentially participate in all of Caverns of Time events, from the Fashion Frenzy, Mount Mania, as well as the Story Time with Lord Walker Cho, which you'll want to start doing the Lord Walker Cho one as soon as possible, because that one can take quite a bit of time to complete out of all of them. There's simple things like riding balloons, exploring the fairgrounds, slaying world bosses, and even participating in the Codex of Chromie scenario. A lot of them don't really take a lot of time for you to complete, unless we're talking about the Lord Walker Cho story time in particular. That one can definitely take a little bit of time. But you might as well take care of all of those things in order to be able to unlock the mount if you haven't done so already. 20th anniversary update brought with it a lot of different class sets, and you might as well take care of getting the rest of them as soon as possible. And finish out collecting all of your different transmogs by getting celebration tokens from most open world activities within Kaz Algar, from the Theater Troupe to the Awakening Machines, the Snuffling treasure finding, the Hollowfall, Lighting the Way. Then there's also killing the Queen and Sarek, as well as completing most of the weekly quests around the actual fairgrounds in Caverns of Time, but also the weekly activities within Dornogal as well. All of those things award you bronze celebration tokens, which you can use to purchase all of the sets before they're gone within the 20th anniversary update. However, if you've already filled up and bought all of the anniversary goodies already, you can still continue to farm more tokens in order to farm up some badges ahead of the time walking vendor refresh we'll be getting in 1107. As every expansion vendors from the Warlord's General, Mesopandaria, Cataclysm, and Legion are getting some brand new mounts, like an Urzel Flesh Ripper from the Legion Time Walker, which looks absolutely amazing. The only other mount that has that model is the Argus the Unmaker mythic version, so it's actually really neat. And if you want to have the currency of Time War badges ready ahead of time in order to be able to buy all those mounts as soon as the new Time Walking week arrives, then you can stock up on a bunch of these badges right now by converting your bronze celebration tokens into Time War badges at the Caverns of Time Fairgrounds. And you can get a lot of bronze tokens every single day, and if you want to, you can even farm them. And one of the best ways to farm them right now is actually to run your ults through the Blackrock Depths raid, which can be done on any characters that are at least level 30 or above. These in particular seem to drop you the most amount of tokens that are farmable and are very easy to do, especially on LFR difficulty. Though you should always pair those together with activities in Dornogal as well as in the open world content of Kazalgar as well to supplement an additional bulk of bronze tokens. But if you just want to farm them endlessly in order to stock up on as many Time War badges before the new vendor refresh is here in 1107, then the raid of Blackrock Depths is the best way to just endlessly farm as many of them as you want to. As long as you have a small army of ults, at least of level 30, that can easily dive into the content, and the content scales up to your level. So certain low level classes with some of the best gear, like if you have characters from that you played in previous expansions like Shadowlands for example, or Dragonflight, and if you had best Assad gear on those characters at that level bracket, those characters will actually have the best scaling in that raid instance, where they could almost practically one-shot some of the different bosses, some of the encounters, if those characters were geared to the teeth for those expansions. But with that being said, as always, I want to thank all of you guys so much for watching and hope you guys did enjoy this update. If you did enjoy it or found it informative, go ahead and give this video a like. I would very much appreciate it. Join our Discord community for regular War Within updates, like more future guides for 1107, or potentially even more guides for the upcoming Plunderstorm, which should be made available shortly after the release of this update. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see all of you guys in the next one.